If Mai Tai and Chill was a place, let's build this tropical dream hideaway together. Close your eyes for a second. Close those eyes. You're driving down an old Florida highway. Palm trees everywhere. There's a vintage neon sign glowing in the distance. You hear surf rock playing. You pull into a little vintage shop filled with tropical prints, books, records, oddities, art, and old cameras. You see a group of people laughing over creating a project. Welcome to Mai Tai and Chill. Welcome back to Mai Tai and Chill Radio, the podcast where vintage meets vacation, creativity meets curiosity, and everyone is invited. This podcast is all about vintage vibes, creative lives, and stories from people building something different. Today's episode is all about fun. We are building a tropical hideaway together. You with me? I wanted to play a little fun game that is sort of like a creative exercise. So when we are creating, we must be in a state of play. And what's better than to play make-believe and create our own tropical hideaway? And what does that option that you choose say about you? All right, this game that we're playing, it is what is your tropical personality? Let's play along. As I go through it, I'm also going to explain what each choice means for your personality. So I want you to pick one that resonates with you specifically, and what it says about your personality, we will find out. Okay, so first we're going to start with the location. And this location, I want you to pick your favorite, and then I will tell you what I chose and what that means for my personality, and then I'll explain the other personalities that go along with the other locations. Locations are a vintage motel, a beach bungalow, a jungle treehouse, a retro trailer, and a haunted tiki bar. Can you guess which one I'm going to say? All right, now I definitely picked the haunted tiki bar. 4th of July is past. Hello, Halloween. Let's bring it. And for my personality type, the haunted tiki bar is for the fun, weird ones. Yeah, we're a type for sure. You love monster movies, Halloween, tropical shirts with skeletons. You believe life's more interesting when it's a little spooky and a little ridiculous. Yes. People come to you because you're always introducing them to something unexpected. Vacation, but make it haunted. Now, if you chose the vintage motel, you are the nostalgic dreamer. You love old postcards, neon signs, and places with character. You probably notice the details of the vintage tile floors before anyone else. You'd rather stay somewhere cute than comfy. Now, if you chose the jungle treehouse, you are the adventurer. You love looking for something different. Hidden trails, botanical gardens, secret beaches. You want experiences to feel like discoveries. Your camera roll is probably filled with plants, sunsets, and cool rocks. For those that chose the retro camper, you are the free spirit. You love freedom to go wherever the mood takes you. Road trips, roadside diners, flea markets, and crazy detours. Your ideal plan is no plan at all. If you chose the beach bungalow, you are the peacekeeper. You love a good book, comfortable chair, and nowhere to be. You know how to celebrate the little things. Friends say you are the calm one. You make a house feel like a home. You drink your coffee on the porch before the others wake up. The location that you chose, did that resonate with you? and your personality. I feel like there's a lot of options, and I want to truly be in every one of those, but a haunted tiki bar is definitely my go-to and want to create that at all times. And I'd like to say I am the fun, weird one. I've got a lot of really fun, weird friends too, so maybe I'm not the only one, but I do love Halloween. That is my favorite holiday. And I do, in fact, love spooky tiki shirts. I have a lot of them. I've designed my own. Yeah, right there with the creepy and the tiki is a match made in heaven. And I definitely do not take life seriously. When I was a little girl, my dad loved decorating for Halloween, and so much so, it was so scary that I either had to be out of the house, gone, like, or somewhere else in the neighborhood, or back in my room, because he had that tape with the spooky sounds. Terrifying. And then he would also use my size Barbie and put it in a coffin or hang it from a tree. He was always doing something extra scary, and I loved it. Although I was truly really scared. So let me know which one you picked, and we're going to continue with some other options, creating your tropical escape. And our next is going to be your soundtrack. So I want you to choose a soundtrack that resonates with you, and I will tell you what that means for your personality. The options for your soundtrack are surf rock, 80s goth, jazz, classic country, or movie scores. Now this one was definitely hard for me because my favorite bands are usually like synth goth, so I had to go with 80s goth, but I do love surf rock as well. My choice of 80s goth was you're creative, expressive, and appreciate beauty in places other people overlook. You like things with a little mystery and a lot of passion. Yeah, especially that passion part. That is me to a T, and definitely what I like about doing my tie and chill. So if you picked surf rock, you are here for fun. You take life as it comes, and you don't take anything too serious. If you chose jazz, you're curious. You enjoy conversations that wander, discovering hidden gems and trying new things. And that goes for any type of jazz, like a gypsy jazz, like 1940s style, or whatever jazz you enjoy. That's not just like elevator. Don't think of jazz as elevator music, because it's so much more. 80s goth, if you chose 80s goth as well, same as me, then you're the creative, expressive, and appreciate beauty in places other people overlook. You like things with a little mystery and a lot of passion. If you chose country for your playlist, you appreciate authenticity and you value good stories, honest people, and places that feel lived in. If you chose soundtracks for yours, then you secretly believe your life deserves cinematic background music. You are creative and imaginative and notice the small things. I feel like that one and 80s goth kind of mesh well. When I lived in New York, I think it was really important to set your soundtrack. Like if I had my headphones on and it was dead of winter, I definitely chose certain kind of music, a Dead Can Dance mixed with like Chelsea Wolfe, and it was definitely more that like cold, mysterious, but I can still remember those days walking 12 blocks to the train station. But really, I can remember those days when it's just a blizzard outside, and it would make my commute 10 million times better with what music I chose. And when it was snowing like that, it was fun to go a little dark. And then when it was like a gorgeous spring day, it would be all Depeche Mode and Bauhaus and fun kind of poppy synth music. Erasure. All right, for our last choices, you will choose a drink that fits your personality. So those drinks are going to be coffee, Mai Tai, lemonade, root beer, or iced tea. If you chose coffee as your drink, you are the planner. Does that sound right? You probably have 3 projects going on at once and a notebook full of ideas. People say you have everything together. Your desk says otherwise. If you chose the Mai Tai, congratulations! No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I love a good Mai Tai, but there's a lot of bad Mai Tais out there, so gotta be careful with this one. If you chose Mai Tai, you are the celebrator. You are the friend hosting parties or planning a weekend adventure. You believe memories are worth making. Yes, that is a great personality trait for someone who chooses a Mai Tai. If you chose lemonade, you are the optimist. You find joy in the simple things. And people find themselves feeling very comfortable around you almost immediately. You're like the great neighbor that would show up unannounced and you'd be like, ah, yay, they're here. If you chose root beer, you're the old soul. You appreciate vintage things, comfort food, classic cars, and tradition. If something has history, you are into it. If you chose iced tea, you're laid back. You are reliable, easygoing, not always the center of attention, but usually the person that everyone wants to sit next to. So for my drink, I actually did not choose Mai Tai because it is kind of a gamble, and I'm not really a gambler because there are so many good and so many bad. I did choose coffee, and my notebook is filled with ideas as I show you a blank page, but I have to write everything out in a notebook for sure. Here's the thing. There's no wrong tropical personalities. Mai Tai and chill is truly not about fitting into one category. It's about embracing your individuality and creating a life that feels like a vacation. I hope this episode reminded you that life is supposed to be fun. And I wanted to just play a game. And if you follow me on Instagram, I also have this quiz in written form. If you're listening on your way to work and you can't remember what I said about your tropical location and what that says about you, go follow me on Instagram. Check it out. Look at it. And then you can show it off to your friends. And share with your friends what kind of personality you are. And please comment here, comment on my YouTube channel, comment on my Instagram, on my Facebook, wherever you can find me. Please comment on what you thought of this fun activity, and I want to know what you chose. And did it really feel like, yeah, she's right, that's her, or was I totally off? If you picked something that I didn't mention, comment that. And then I'll tell you what personality that means you have. All right, it'll be an extra fun bonus. But I think playing a game is always a fun way of being creative. When I was an elementary art teacher, I loved playing games, and I think it resonates more with people. Like, I don't know how many of you love to do those online quizzes. I do. I love it. It's so much fun. I also would really like to start doing a Treasures of the Week. And that's just going to be a little short segment of things that I found this week. I am always thrifting, always on the hunt, always exploring new places as well. My Treasures of the Week. One is this gorgeous vintage fan. That is so beautiful. It's painted on. It is stunning, and it's tiny and it's fragile. Like I'm kind of too scared to even try to use it for real. I don't really feel anything, but it's stunning. Look how beautiful that is. So that's treasure number 1. I also found incredible Whitco guitars, which if you don't know what Whitco is, look it up. They're amazing. If you like tiki, if you like carved wood, if you like Elvis, if you like vintage, if you like mid-century modern, Highly recommend. I found two giant guitars. They were about the size of me, and I actually already sold them to someone that really, really wanted them, and I unfortunately don't have the wall space, so it would have just been sitting collecting dust anyways. But it was still a treasure of the week. When you find those really good items, it's like a high. I also explored this store that my partner and I met them during the oddities market here in Fort Myers, and we hadn't gone into their physical location yet, so we went to go visit them. Their store is called Black Box Treasures. It's located in Estero, Florida. It is so cool. So as their Google page review, it says Black Box Treasures is a family-owned boutique in Estero, Florida, specializing in crystals, unique jewelry, oddities, and curiosities, positioning itself as Southwest Florida's only oddity shop. They offer a variety of items, including metaphysical goods, local art and vintage finds, and host workshops like building butterfly displays. The store is known for its unique selection and customer service with a focus on vulture culture and mystical items. I love that. Like, right off the bat, I was like, yeah, I want to go. And it truly was super cool. The owners are amazing, and they're coming up on their year anniversary. So if you're in the Estero area, go check them out. They're incredible. Look them up online and shop online. Let's support these local businesses. Super cool store. So that was definitely a treasure in itself, just to find that. And I read an incredible book this week. I love the horror genre or thriller or anything that's super silly and grotesque. And this week I read Maeve Fly by C.J. Lead. I will, if I can figure out how to put it up, I will. If not, this is the cover. I am a very visual person. I need to see what the cover looks like. I read mine on my Kindle, but you can read yours physical or not. It's fantastic, and it's a really quick read, and I'm looking forward to reading more of CJ Lead. Just fantastic. Yeah, that was my treasures of the week. And if you have any really cool treasures, I would love to know about them. Email me, reply down below, or find me on social media anywhere and tell me what your treasures of the week are. And maybe eventually, if I get enough response to everyone's treasures, then I'll start reading them here at the end of every episode. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be simple and something that you could just exercise your creativity with. So until next week, stay tropical, stay strange, and don't leave the thrift store without checking the back corner.